So Flex Wheeler would have been the 1997 Mr. Olympia, completely changing the timeline of bodybuilding history. Now, I know what you're thinking. Flex finished runner-up in 1998. Hello Superset maniacs and welcome back to my channel. We all know the story of the 1997 Mr. Olympia, one of the most infamous competitions in bodybuilding history. Reigning and defending 5-time Mr. Olympia Dorian Yates was going for his 6th title, but everyone knew he was entering the show with multiple injuries. Because of this, many believed they finally had a chance to dethrone him. As the award ceremony began and the placings were announced one by one, everyone was shocked as their names were called while Dorian's remained. The final two were Dorian Yates and Nasser Sonbaty, and back then, they announced second place first. When Nasser was called in second, the rest became history. But let's rewind to the beginning of the prejudging. Flex Wheeler was originally supposed to compete but dropped out at the last minute for reasons that remain unclear. He allegedly had a car accident during peak week that prevented him from finishing his prep. Others say he messed up his conditioning due to bad dieting. There are many theories. So why am I bringing this up? Back then, the Olympia was more political than ever, and the truth is, outside of politics, nobody had been good enough to take the title from Lee Haney and Dorian Yates for the past 13 years. Don't get me wrong, physique-wise, Nasser probably should have won this show. In my opinion, if you have glaring weaknesses and torn, non-existent muscles, you should be disqualified from contention. At the same time, Nasser didn't completely shut the door on Dorian. His conditioning wasn't undeniable, his back was pretty average, and the Synthol allegations didn't help his case either. If you ask me, Sean Ray and Kevin Levrone had better chances, but the judges saw it differently. 1997 was probably the best year of Kevin's entire career, and it would have been amazing for him to finally win the Sandow, but this video isn't about that. Flex Wheeler had won the 1997 Arnold Classic earlier that year, arguably at his all-time best. People don't talk enough about this version of Flex. If he had replicated that look at the Olympia, it would have been game over for everyone, especially Dorian Yates. Not to mention, Flex was more marketable than Nasser, so with politics in play, everything would have aligned for him. So Flex Wheeler would have been the 1997 Mr. Olympia, completely changing the timeline of bodybuilding history. Now, I know what you're thinking. Flex finished runner-up in 1998 and 1999 to arguably the two best versions of Ronnie Coleman. So wouldn't things have played out the same regardless of who won in 1997? I disagree, and I have two main reasons why. First, back then, the reigning champion had a huge advantage. Even if they were a little off, unless someone completely shut the door on them, they were extremely hard to dethrone. Don't forget, between 1984 and 2017, there were only 6 different Mr. Olympias. For reference, we've had 6 since 2018. That means on average, each champion reigned for over 5 years. If Flex had won in 1997, he would have had that same champion protection. Second, whenever a new champion emerged, the judging criteria tended to shift and everyone else had to adjust. In 1998, after Dorian retired, the title was vacant, so every competitor, including Ronnie, brought their own unique package. But if Ronnie had to chase Flex's look, he would never have been able to beat him in the aesthetics game. That's just my opinion. Of course, anything could have happened, but considering the advantages of being the reigning champ and the criteria shifting in his favor, I believe Ronnie, with his unaesthetic midsection and gyno in 1998, would have lost to Flex Wheeler. That means in this timeline, by 1998, Flex would already be a 2-time Mr. Olympia. Now, let's look at 1999. In reality, this was one of Ronnie's best years. He was slightly bigger than in 1998, his gyno was gone and everything fell into place for him, but 1999 was also the best version of Flex Wheeler since 1993. In my opinion, he improved even more than Ronnie from 1998 to 1999 based on the fact that Flex actually beat Ronnie in 1998 in our timeline. It's very possible he would have beaten him again in 1999. Just to be clear, this claim is based on two key factors. First, Flex having the champion's advantage, and second, Ronnie not being able to develop the insane mass that he did in reality because he would have been chasing Flex aesthetics. That means Flex Wheeler would be a three-time Mr. Olympia, which seems much more fair than him being an uncrowned champion. In 2000, Flex placed third behind Ronnie and Kevin Levrone in reality, and this is when he started slowing down due to kidney issues. I believe that in our timeline, Ronnie Coleman would have finally defeated Flex in 2000 with a physique similar to his real-life 1999 package. In our real timeline, Flex skipped 2001 and returned in 2002, finishing 7th. Then he competed in the 2003 Ironman before retiring. In our alternate timeline, I think he would have attempted a comeback in 2001 or 2002, but after failing to place high again, would retire as a fulfilled three-time Mr. Olympia. Now, let's talk about Ronnie. In this alternate timeline, he would have still won in 2001 and 2002, but what happened in reality in 2002, with him coming in smaller, would instead happen in 2003. That's when Jay Cutler, with a physique similar to his real-life 2001 version, would take the title from Ronnie. This would have sparked the same fire in Ronnie that we saw in 2003 in real life, except in our timeline it would happen in 2004. That means Ronnie Coleman would become the first bodybuilder to lose the Olympia and come back to reclaim his title. Ronnie would then defeat Jay one more time in 2005 before losing to him in 2006, making their rivalry much more balanced than it was in reality. Alright, so this video was mainly about Flex Wheeler, but we went down an interesting rabbit hole. If you guys enjoyed this type of what-if content that explores alternate bodybuilding timelines, let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. That's how I know you want more videos like this. Your feedback is what drives this channel.